First at 11, new information into questions about more than $3.3 million that are unaccounted for in the town of Swansea's budget. An audit brought the information about the missing funds to light. New tonight, 2 town council members and the town's clerk are suing the town, the mayor, and the auditor who looked into the town's finances. It's a deep dive story we first told you about during News 19 at 6. Rachel Ripp spoke with one of the council members who is a plaintiff in the lawsuit.
Over the last few days, we've been researching and digging into financial issues within the town of Swansea. A recent audit indicated millions, 3.3 to be exact, are missing from the town's budget. Councilmember Doris Simmons spoke with me tonight about why she felt the lawsuit was necessary.
The people of the town deserve to know what happened to that $3.3 million. I want to know. I'm a resident just as much as I'm a council member. Where did that money go?
Councilman Simmons tells me she started actively seeking out a lawyer about 2 weeks ago. Now, I've spent the better part of the last 2 days looking into what's inside of this 37-page audit. It's for the year ending 2021. Now, it states that balances related to fixed assets, which would include land, property, and equipment, and for all funds, are understated by at least $3,309,000. Ultimately, we're talking about your taxpayer money, and a number of people aren't happy about it. Residents are left with more questions than answers here in the town of Swansea. The discovery of $3.3 million in assets that are unaccounted for from this audit of the town's budget from 2021. The document is 37 pages long and outlines the lack of balances for accounts receivable and accounts payable balances. According to the document, because those balances are missing, beginning and ending balances could not be reconciled. Scott Whetstone is the chairman of the Lexington County Council.
Generations of families' legacies is being tarnished because of misappropriation of funds and mismanagement of all of the assets that the town had. So it's just not a good image. And who would want to come into that town to try to revitalize it or move into there when you have all of these issues going on?
According to Councilman Linda Butler, this also comes on the heels of Town Council not passing their 2022-2023 budget in its second reading this week. Locals we spoke to today didn't want their faces filmed on camera, but say they are not pleased with the information.
Very confused. It seems that the town's been taken advantage of. We need to see some accountability. We need to see what happened. We need to see how it's going to be, how these wrongs are going to be corrected.
All that money could be put into, look at the roads, look at the buildings, look at downtown Swansea Main Street, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, you know, that money could be put to good use, could help schools.
The audit explains that the town's records were inadequate, and it identifies several areas where income was not correctly documented, if it was documented at all. Here are a few examples. The document notes invalid accounts for insurance payments received from retirees totaling more than $3,800. Net wages totaling more than $37,000. And then there's this, a note that the town did not record as income, nearly $25,000 to the general fund. That money came from the state treasurer. Former town council candidate Thomas Dees says there needs to be more transparency and locals need to speak up.
Be more vocal, attend the town meetings. They have the town meetings set up. I think, a lot of people, from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are voting their concerns.
Financial issues are not new for the town of Swansea. Back in July of 2021, then town mayor Gerald Sanders was charged with embezzlement of less than $10,000 and misconduct in office. That's according to the state's attorney general's office and the state's law enforcement division. And a check of the WLTX archives turned up reports dating back to 2015, where SLED investigated thousands of dollars missing from the town's water and sewer account. We checked with SLED about this most recent audit report, and they tell us they have not been asked to investigate. Now, in addition to Councilwoman Simmons, Councilman Michael Luongo is also part of the lawsuit. We made attempts to speak with the town's mayor and requested an interview, but our requests were declined. We'll continue to follow this search into the missing money. In studio, Rachel Ripp, News 19, WLTX.